Apple Vision Pro starts at $34.99.
You need to leave!
Hey guys, welcome again to this channel. Today we're going to talk about the Apple conference that just happened. There was one thing that I wanted to talk about really quickly, and that was the Apple VR headset. So some of you who don't know, I am a director of strategy at Microsoft. I work with some of the technologies that they work from the back end to the front end to more hardware things. And one of the things that Microsoft has in its repertoire is the HoloLens. And when I heard the announcement, I automatically assumed, well, it sounds like they're trying to get into that play where Microsoft was when it came to the HoloLens. And so in this video, I just wanted to break down a little bit of what I think in this video that they're kind of encumbering some of the similarities. We can maybe go over a little bit on the technical specs, and I'll just give you guys my feedback on some of the things. So stay tuned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play side by side a little bit. I'm just going to do little snippets of what I see in the keynote, and then just in general, like what are some of the things that I'm kind of picking up. So putting down what I'm picking up. So really quickly, let's talk about the specs that you get in the HoloLens and the Meta Quest Pro. It was designed to be a standalone computer. So in the HoloLens, Qualcomm Snapdragon, 4 visible light cameras, you got 2 IR cameras, 1 MP time of flight depth sensor, accelerometer, gyroscope, still camera for 1080p video, spatial audio, 5 channel, 64 gigabytes of storage, 4 gigabyte of memory, USB-C. It's a pretty damn powerful piece of hardware, right? Then we go to the Meta Quest, similar performance, a little more storage, usually probably for those games, a little bit more render, 12 gigabytes of RAM. Right, usually with the HoloLens, it's more on the field, that more immersed type of scenario. Meta, it seems like it has a little bit more of a non-commercial, watching Netflix, fun device. You know, the HoloLens is more that commercial, enterprise level. A lot of those aren't really fun applications. I mean, they do have some where you can expand and play around with the little digital objects, but mostly those are for specific use cases in business. Another thing to mention too is with the HoloLens, one of the things that Microsoft has had challenges with is understanding a use case that lies not only within commercial but also non-commercial. What would make consumers justify purchasing this device? That was one thing, their justification of use cases and why should people use that. And also another thing that we're seeing is full immersion. So you taking in everything from that environment. The display is almost 360 around everything. I wonder if you can FaceTime people with this, you know, whether it be in front of you, like with the device, or maybe you can FaceTime someone.
It delivers a natural representation which dynamically matches your facial and hand movement.
I'm doing well, thank you.
As everybody knows, they're bringing out the new iOS, just like any other release. Phone, computer, kind of merging that bridge between computing and also did a iPhone 14 video, so I'll leave that in the description as well too. But by this time, maybe 15 may come out, you never know.
Vision Pro is a new kind of computer that augments reality by seamlessly blending the real world with the digital world.
So when we're looking at the keynote, he's putting on the headset and it automatically looks at the area around it and determines different little nuances. How far is he from the next surface? How much of space there is between him and his hands and his eyes, and it's doing a lot of calculatory things. Way before you even do this thing, right, you have to calibrate this headset so it understands, you know, how you think as a person and how your eyes motion and kind of calculate for certain things like that. And those usually take about 5 minutes. And it's the same thing that you would do in most headsets, but also in the HoloLens you do that. and there's a distance between your pupils, and it calculates that, and it forms this calculatory measure in order to display the right information to you. It doesn't look like you're just doing this, you're just cross-eyed. This UI is clean, okay? I'll be honest with you, the HoloLens it can be improved a lot, let's say that. And then you can just be chilling, just like any other headset, you're chilling. But it looks like he has this connected to something. There's a little wire back. Maybe he has this connected to a charger port or a computer or a hover device.
You're no longer limited by a display. Your surroundings become
What I've noticed with the Quest, Facebook's headset, is they made it so that you are deeply immersed into your work. Before they started their transition away from the metaverse into AI, that they wanted people to use these headsets as a replacement for your monitor. So essentially you will be immersed deep into your work. Computer right here, screen, your first screen, you have a dashboard right here, maybe you have your teammates on the other side, and it's just a way to kind of deeply immerse you into that metaverse. Really cool concept, really dope. Not sure how well it's been working, but what I see from this is Apple is trying to take their intake onto that Apple metaverse and utilize it with what they're doing now. Also, what I'm seeing is, you know, when it comes to these headsets, you know, they specifically have a use case for them, right? One of the use cases for the Quest, playing games and doing stuff, you know. HoloLens is more for commercial use. You know, a lot of what they're doing is for industrial workers. When a person's on the field, they need to talk to an agent, maybe at their corporate office, and they need understanding of a specific product and a piece. Imagine you're doing plumbing or you're doing different work on the field, and you have a visual display of how you should actually replace and repair this part. It makes it a lot easier for you to understand and just be more immersed into your work. The cool thing about how it works is it shoots lasers into your retina and produces this image in 3D so that you can see it and interact with it. It does it based on the camera in front. But with this, it's looking like you look at a specific object in digital space, and then you just to notify that, hey, I want to interact with this object. Also, someone has to create all of these objects, so I assume there will be some sort of kit that has been pre-developed by Apple, but there will be some kits that will be created by third-party companies, like or third-party developers, to also do that.
entirely new way.
You see how big that thing is? That thing is pretty awesome. So I'm assuming big screen, you can fully immerse yourself. I'm not sure how far apart. I don't want to say 180 because like you'll be like this, but I would say like this much. I don't know how much this is, but it seems like you're pretty immersed. Imagine playing like StarCraft or some of those newer space games in 3D space like that. So
Pro will introduce us to spatial computing.
spatial
This marks the
computing.
beginning of a journey that will bring a new dimension to
Cool term that they probably made up. So this is huge. So what usually makes a platform is this community. And from what I'm seeing right now, one of the biggest applications when they're creating digital content, Unity, some of the things you'd be surprised use Unity. So it's very interesting stuff. Now games will actually be made for this device, running on a Vision OS. So this is a platform that has some expanse to it, potential to do a lot more than just work. You can have fun. Of course, you have the Microsoft suite on here, and you can play with different things and do your actual work, but then also you can come home, have fun, mindless things. That was another thing that we're trying to do, is integration with our own metaverse, something called the Microsoft Mesh, which would be those digital avatars and working in that digital space. I think they still got some kinks to work out, but essentially, you know, that was something that I was offering for some customers as an experimental thing. I'm not gonna go over the sound. I mean, we already know it's gonna be some high quality sound, let's just be honest. One thing I've seen that people do is they correlate this to Ready Player One. It's opaque if you're watching something, but then if you're available, it's completely transparent, you can see through. From what I understand, it's an actual camera and displaying a little overlay over you, but essentially it's a screen that is between your eyes and the outside world. Some very powerful technology, I'll say.
to review and
Oh, so it seems like they are taking over some of that market share that HoloLens is doing with the machines and that industrial look. Similar to this, right? Like you get a manual downloaded and you automatically can see how this mechanism works. It's the same thing that the HoloLens is doing right now. But with this one, a little bit more of an expanse where you can, of course, make it commercial and non-commercial. So very interesting.
new production line.
Okay, being a DJ, yeah. I mean, I can't imagine me DJing this stuff, but I mean, hey, it's fun, right? Like, it's an app, it's a fun thing, right? I can't wait for him to release the price.
Apple Vision Pro starts at $34.99.
Ha! Hey, it comes at a hefty price tag. I knew there was something to it. Same price point as the HoloLens. This one is $34.99. The HoloLens is roughly $34.99 at the base level. There's different models and stuff that you can get, but generally it goes up from there. Yeah, very impressive. So, I mean, yeah, like the typical person is not gonna drop that much for a device, and easily justifiable, right? Like if you're just gonna just pick it up and bam, you know, think about that big purchase. But, you know, there are some enthusiasts that will use this. They'll use it for games. They'll use it to replace their monitor. Maybe they're in a small New York apartment and they want to maybe utilize this as a workspace. Very highly acceptable. If you're just gonna pick this up, maybe pick it up for a little bit and go on with your life, probably not the best device. The phone, you know, definitely justifiable for its price point. You know, we need it basically to talk to people. You can FaceTime, you can chat with people all over the world, you can get internet, you can do so much with this device. But with this, it's almost as if it's bridging the gap between a peripheral and also a primary device like a phone or a laptop. So I don't know, I'm excited for this thing. It's, you know, I always like hearing about new technology, and to see this thing actually be released early next year, we'll definitely gonna tune in. I'm gonna definitely give my review when we actually get a hands on it. So thank you guys for tuning into this channel. If you like what you've heard, please like, comment, subscribe. I will have more of these tech review videos as the years come, so please stay tuned and we'll talk to you soon.